Welcome to Empyrion Galactic Survival, and here we are down on the starter planet. The sun's just coming up, and this is the very simple base that I built in the last part. I've extended the platform out, and the other thing I've also done is I've gone through and unlocked all the necessary technology I need for a small vessel. And also, as you can see on the toolbar down the bottom, I've also gone ahead and constructed all the main elements because I don't want this video to be too long. And what we're going to do, guys, is we're just going to start laying this out and for this ship. And you can see I put some blocks here because what I want to do is just get here, and we click here. This should drop down onto here. And I like to build vessels like this because it means I can work underneath them very, very well. And of course I've got the multi-tool, so I can actually flip in here and actually just recover the box. And what we're going to do is just snag out these ones here, leave the core in there. Of course we're going to need to what cockpit to use. This is my favourite cockpit. Do I really want to try anything else, or do I stick with that? This one's 2x2x9. This is 3x2x6. I mean, I do keep meaning to try these other ones, but I think we'll stick with this. I'm going to be slightly unoriginal for the moment. And any of you guys who are new to the game and you want to practice building, what I strongly recommend that you do is you actually practice in creative mode. And it's a good way to work up designs as well. Although I have to confess, I'm pretty terrible at working up designs. I have a habit of, like I'm doing now, as just making up as I go along. I know what I need to place. It's just that, well, I just get the feeling that, well, I just want to put things in the way that I want to do. Now, my normal profile is to put RCSs there, but I've got this large mobile constructor, which can be a bit of a pain because it's 3 blocks long. So maybe if we can drop this in here, we need the fuel tank and the cargo box. These are the 4 big components that need to be fitted in. I think maybe what we can do, I could put the mobile constructor down that side like that, and of course I want to protect the generator and the fuel tank, so maybe if we put the fuel tank there, because the way you need to think about it when you're designing these ships, especially if you're going to go up against hostile POIs, is you want to protect everything that's sensitive behind the cab, and anything that's quite sensitive like the RCSs can go at the rear, because the truth is, if you're flying around on a planet, you get damage from behind. You've got to ask yourself a pretty fundamental question, in the sense that what are you actually doing if you're not protecting your key resources? I think what I'm going to do, guys, is I've got the cargo box. Let me just have a look. I just want to bring the oxygen in as well. We've got a fridge, and we've got an ammo box, and we've got an oxygen tank which can be exposed if necessary. Right, so let's just, yeah, I mean, this is quite a bulky. I want some length to the ship. I think what we're going to do, we've got to put the oxygen on the top, because that you've got to be able to click on that. So I think we will just put that on the top like that. And of course, because this ship that cuts in, I don't want anything particularly that vulnerable there. Right, we've got the RCSs to put on. Okay, I think what we're going to do is, I think if we put the tuck the ammo box in there, and then we can put the RCSs on the back like that, and maybe we'll put the fridge in between like that, and maybe just a And I want a large cargo box. I don't want the small one, so we're going to put a fairly large cargo box in like that. So if we rotate that, we put the cargo box along the spine as well, like that. Okay. So that gives me the basic shape of the ship. And I think now what I tend to like doing is have the reversing thrusters underneath here, but I could put them on the side here. So okay, let's put, oh, I've got no thrusters. Okay, helps if I pick the thrusters up. We've got the oxygen tank to put on as well. I think maybe what we'll do is we'll put let's just turn these. Right, we're going to put the thrusters like this on the side, back from the cab itself. Right. And I think what we will do is drop the oops. I think we have the lift thrusters behind it, and it's going to make it a little bit vulnerable, but I think we'll be okay, guys. So that's the lift thrusters there. I mean, this underside is going to be a little bit exposed, but we can plate that in with armored plates so that it's actually safe. Right, so we've now got that there. I think if we come in here and that, yeah, I think we could put that there, but that's a bit, so maybe if we put these here, okay, and I'm actually, oops, and I mean sometimes it pays just to drop things in. So we've now got these thrusters, and what we need to do is get in the lateral thrusters. We could put one each side. Would that work? But then that would be exposed. I'm a bit inclined to put these thrusters out to give a bit of width to the ship. Okay, what have we got in the way of blocks? Actually, let's get some guns on. Got a few steel blocks, and of course we got the landing gear. Right, let's get the guns on the front. And I think I don't want the gun. Okay, let's just get the guns underneath. Let's just drop that in. So that will provide some protection from the front. And we could put high landing gear right behind here. And then we could come out with the wings. Okay. Right, so we've got up, down. Actually, we could. Let me just take. Let's try something, guys. Let's just take that out. And I'm just gonna. We put this one here, like that. Yeah, I think that works better. We're just going to take that one out. And we're going to put in another one there. I'm just going to... So we got two up. Right, we've got two lift thrusters. And And I think what we can do is what am I doing? It's putting things in the wrong plane. We put in two like that. So we got two lateral thrusters that way. And of course we're going to need some extras, so we'll just get in here. Devices, large constructor. Actually, I think I'm going to make another one. And of course we got some armored blocks here. Oh, I've got the oxygen tank to put in. Okay. Oh, and I've got lamps as well. So we've got these two there, those two there. So we're just gonna put you two there. And I think what we can do is I'd like to have the protection plates there, and we're going to have armor. We need some protection for that cargo box. Actually, we've also got to put the oxygen tank in, so where are we going to put the oxygen tank? Okay, let's put the oxygen tank there. And we can put a normal steel block in there. And I think what we're just going to do, guys, is put the it's just gonna. I think we'll drop some thrusters in there, some thrusters in there, and I think we're just going to pick up the third thruster. That should be finished by now. And we've got the lights to go. Just going to come up here, and we're just going to drop the final thruster there. And of course, I think I want to put some landing gear on this. Yeah, I think we're going to need to work on some blocks first. Okay. Right, we got thrusters there, and we got thrusters there. I think what we can do is have, like, this could be a little bit overweight actually. So we could just drop that in here like that. Actually, what we could do is take that one out and put the thruster. No, it's too chunky by far. Okay, I'm just going to put you back in again. So I'm just going to put you there. It's going to come down underneath, take these out. Yeah, that just makes it look way too chunky. I think what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to have some. I think we're going to have some fairly high level landing gear. I think for the moment, for the test flight, we will put this out here like this. I mean, I'll probably move the landing gear afterwards, but I can't. It fitted quite nicely. Oh, come on, don't mess about. Okay. Right. And just to wind this. Put some lights there. And we're just rotate them. Put the next lights here. Right. Just put some lights there. And well, you're on the immediate flat zone behind the. Okay. That will protect the thrusters, so that will go there. And what we'll do is we've got some armored blocks, so we're going to put an armored block immediately behind like that. That will give a bit of protection there, and I think to give some protection underneath. Nah, I'm not going to bother that just yet, guys. So, I think what we're going to do is give it a bit of a test flight just to see how it flies. It's probably going to fly terrible, but most of my ships always do fly terrible when I first get in. Now if I jump into it, you will see it sinks down automatically, and what we're going to do is obviously we're going to fill it up, and we're going to fill all the ammunition in, power it on. I'm just going to come here. Just give a bit of height so we can do a bit of a test flight. Lots and lots of forward thrust. I think we're going to need that, although the top speed is only 49. That's whoops, don't go in the water. Yeah, it seems to be flying okay, guys. As I say, it's not armoured, so we're going to have to be a little bit careful. It's got a little bit of yaw on it, which isn't particularly that good. Right, let's just fly in. Drop down. So I don't want to make it too wide because we may want to fly through trees. So if I had great big wide wings on it, it would be a bit worried about that. Why it seems to lead to. Oops. I always have problems landing sometimes, guys. Level off, please. Okay. There's a lot to be said to have an auto lander. Right, I'm just going to power off to start moment while I actually keep on working on it. Right guys, so we've got the basics in, we got the ship there. What we need to do now is work a little bit on the protection, because obviously it's a pretty vulnerable. All our main kit is actually pretty exposed. Oops. I think what we can do up here, we need to fill in this gap here. I think we need some armored blocks here. What can we put in here? What can we kind of, let's see what that is. Let's just drop that in. Whoops. Yeah, I think that will, because I want a solid line behind, so to protect that thruster behind. So I think is that it? Let's have a quick look. I think I've messed that up, haven't I? Yeah, just get in. Right, so that's that there, and of course what we're going to do is drop a fairly solid block behind like that, and of course we're going to, I think we can just have normal steel blocks at the back, because if you've been attacked from the rear, you're doing something wrong. Oh no, there's no point being kind of diplomatic about that, guys. This is the nature of the game. As I say, if you're being subject to a rear attack, you are in trouble. I mean, side attacks is different. I mean, sometimes you can get a side swipe, so I think we'll put these heavy. See that? Oh, right. That thruster's going to be exposed, isn't it? But we could put, I mean, we put in a we could put something like that in over that thruster. Okay. Right, we can go there, and we'll just go back to these. So I'm just going to rotate these in. And again, we can go back to the ordinary steel blocks here. That oxygen dispenser, protecting that isn't crucial. So I think what we can do is just maybe we'll just have some serrated like this, just across the back like this. Apologies, it's not 100% elegant, guys, but and I think go back to these, and I think we're just going to put, oops. Don't annoy me. And we could put, nah, that doesn't look right, does it? Okay. Oh, since I've got that in the right orientation, let's just we put in a thruster like that on this side, and if we go to this level, so that actually comes out like that, and if we put a solid steel block in behind like this, I will eventually, well, I probably won't actually, to be honest, come to think of it. So that's going to give me some protection on that side. I think that's going to work. I mean, the problem you always get is the fact that if you start loading the ship down too much, the weight gets too much, and then you get problems with performance. So that's something else you need to consider. I think you can go there. Oh, that's right, that orientation worked out quite nicely. So you're protected. You've got a, so we're just gonna, I think we can drop a steel block, ordinary steel block there. Actually, I think just to make this a bit more as though it's got some shape and description, and I've got trapped underneath. Okay. Come on, camera. Right, it's just. And all I really need now is to put some protection underneath. I've got 16 plates left, so just gonna jump in the ship. Of course, we're going to power on. I'm going to have to lift up a bit. And this is where I've got to be a bit careful, guys, because we're going to have to fly underneath, and we'll see what we can do in the way of protection underneath, because of course we've got lots of plating here. I think if we just use this, I think. So just put these underneath for the moment. As I say, this is not going to win any real awards for elegant design. Just drop that in there, and just put some so if I do get shot from underneath, right, and just use up the rest of these while I'm at it. What have I got there? That doesn't look right. Comes from working upside down, isn't it? Pick up blocks. Right. Right, stick with that. As I said, if I'm getting hit here, I'm going to ask myself some fairly fundamental questions about what I'm actually doing and what I'm actually paying attention to. Right, I think we got... I don't think these blocks actually need protection, so we got that protection there. Right. We got extra protection behind to protect that there. I think there's only one thing I actually want to do, actually, guys. I've forgotten to do it. So I'm just going to jump back in. Just going to land back down again, guys. Power off, and of course time's pushing on. It's already getting dark, so this part might be taken up totally by building this ship, which is a bit unfortunate. I was hoping to do a bit more than this. Blocks. I think what I'm looking for is some shutters. So hardened steel block. If I make 10 of those, and while that's building, guys, we're just gonna have a quick fly around just to see whether I've altered the dynamics of the ship. Of course, the downside now of using this ship still seems to be a little bit lopsided. I don't know, I think that must be the yaw, is the fact that because we're not using the hover vehicle anymore, we've only got a radar scan range now of 1,000 meters, so that's something that we need to kind of consider, guys. I think it flies reasonably well. As I say, it's not going to win any awards, but I think it's going to get the job done, guys. So just going to fly in here and whoops, ease in. As I say, I don't want great big wide wings, simply because we may want to move through the trees. So I'm just going to jump out. Hopefully we would have got some those shutters should be finished by now. Large constructor. Yep. So what we're going to do is back here, and one thing I do want to do is put the and again, just going to drop that onto the front of there. And we'll put another one onto these. These are just intended to give some extra protection to the where I'm liable to be attacked from the most. So, wow, what is it? A bit of a bad landing, isn't it? Not sure what is it. Stern heavy. I mean, I can always move the landing gear back now, because I've actually, yeah, maybe we'll just move the landing gear back a bit. So I'm just going to jump out here. Right, just jump back in again. Of course, we're going to power on. Right, I'm just gonna level off. I'm just gonna, we can just hover there. I'm just gonna get the, and this is all part of the fun of, I think, just make sure we can pick up. Just gonna snick that out, and just gonna get the, hopefully this landing gear will fit up under here quite nicely. Okay. Of course it means I've now exposed parts of the ship, but I think if we maybe go back a bit, that actually dropped right on the back. Let's go up and just take that one off and that one off. We'll just have to use the undercarriage to protect, or landing gear to protect these two areas here. Okay. And just where's the vulnerability? Yeah, we are now vulnerable in that area, so I think if we can put some blocks in there. Whoops, a daisy. Of course, do you spot the deliberate mistake here, guys, on this side? So we're just gonna rotate that in like that. I think what we probably could do is to put some extra protection on. I can see them. Again, it's always a bit, is that right? I say sometimes it can be, no, I haven't done it properly. Yeah, that's better. And we'll just do this one just to make sure it's completely sound. Right, pull this back, and of course that also tones down a bit of the glare from the thrusters, which is a bit of a fringe benefit for if you want, if the glare is becoming a little bit annoying. Right, I think that should be enough. I'll just get here, and I think what we're going to do now is just go for a bit of a fly round, trick the lamps out. The lamps, we've got a pretty good distribution with the lighting, and I think we're just going to fly towards the lights. And we're just going to go for a little bit of a test flight, guys, and then I think that's where I'm going to wind this part up, see if we can see anything. And of course, this is the nice thing now, is with the SV we can actually fly above the trees, so we don't have the problem of flying through the trees like you have with the hover vehicle. So we're just going to fly across the surface like this. Yep, I'm quite comfortable with this. Yeah, let's see, it's just a little bit sluggish that way because probably it's a little bit heavier. I mean, it's not ideally maneuverable. Lots of forward thrusts, and yeah, as I say, it's, and of course we don't, of course it would drop quicker because we've got two thrusters on the front. We don't really need two thrusters. Quite often you can get away with a single thruster out the back. But I think this is where I'm going to leave it, guys. We've now got an SV. In the next part, developers permitting, I would say developers permitting simply because it is Friday and there may be part 6 dropped. If it does, and if it justifies a restart, we'll do a restart. That's it, we're out of the sun now, so we'll do that. So this is where I'm going to leave it, guys. Hope you've enjoyed the episode, hope you found it interesting. Feel free to tell me what rubbish my ship is. As I say, once we get the full release of Alpha 8.0, we will do a proper Let's Play, and I promise you I will build a proper ship. Or alternatively, what we may do is actually explore the blueprints. We got some blueprints here. And some fairly useful looking ships, and of course we've got good old cheese and onion up here, which served me well in my Omicron series. And we seem to be in the middle of a radiation storm, so I think that's definitely my cue to call an end for this video. So what I can say is, hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.